I want to thank the president of the Bristol Sports Hall of Fame, the officers of the Hall of Fame, and the board of directors. I don't have great credentials of performing in higher leagues. My forte was coaching, volunteering whenever anybody needed a coach for something. The person who, in my opinion, was the greatest volunteer in Bristol for many years, Dan Levero, who was a member of the Bristol Hall of Fame. I was first introduced to volunteering when Carlton Bircher, the director of the Forestville Little League and the Forestville Boys Club, he called me and asked me if I would do him a favor. The baseball team played in the Bristol Youth Summer League, and his coach had just resigned for whatever reasons, and he needed a coach. So I said, okay, I'll help you out a little bit until you get somebody permanent. And the somebody permanent happened to be me. I coached in that league for 7 years. In the 8th year, a boyhood friend of mine, Billy Hyland, called me up and said, I heard a rumor that there's going to be a midget football league. He said, I will check around and see what's going on, and I'll let you know. Well, he let me know, and that was true. It wasn't a rumor. It was going to happen. So Billy and I went and signed up, and in the first year of that league, we had some fairly good success. Our team won the league. And we won the league because we had some fantastic little boys who were great athletes. One of which was Doug Jackson. Another one was Mike Giovinazzo. We could tell right away that these were promising athletes. And I talked to Mike about that a little while ago, and he told me it was very easy. He played quarterback, and he said, I just gave the ball to Doug Jackson and Robert Godet and watched everything happen. Mike actually won the league championship for us by throwing a pass in the last quarter that gave us the championship. The team was good, and not necessarily due to the coaching, but to the talent of the young boys that played on the team. Dougie Jackson went on in high school to win many awards during his 4 years of high school. He went to Columbia University, where he played football for 4 years. He got awards during the 4-year period he was there. And the biggest award he got was the Ivy League Player of the Year for Columbia. Columbia was not a very good football school, so it was more remarkable that they made him the Player of the Year. After Columbia, he signed contracts with the Dallas Cowboys. Stayed with the Cowboys for 2 years and was signed by the New York Giants for 2 more years. He was remarkable in more ways because when he was a youngster, he had polio. And his father worked extremely hard to build up his body and get rid of that. He also had another problem during high school and college years because he had a condition called dyslexia, which very simply is information going to the brain doesn't translate out the way it's wanted. But he persevered through that, and after 4 years of professional football, he had to give it up because he had a bad leg that wouldn't heal. There was another player on that first midget football squad, which I've already mentioned, Mike Giovinazzo. Mike went on to high school, played a lot of sports, went to Southern Connecticut University, graduated with a degree on physical education, came back to Bristol and got hired by the physical education department and was an assistant coach for Dave Mills for 7 years. On the 8th year, the head baseball coach for Bristol Eastern retired. Mike applied for the job, and he got the job. A few years later, the head basketball coach retired. Mike applied for that job, and he also got that job. So now we have a young man who is coaching 2 sports and doing very well. Well enough so that his peers in the coaching profession in Central Connecticut got to recognize that this was an exceptional person as a coach. Mike was inducted into the Bristol Sports Hall of Fame and continued on with a wonderful coaching job. Eventually, he was inducted into the State of Connecticut Sports Hall of Fame. As of last spring, Mike was still coaching sports at Bristol Eastern. How much longer he does that, only Mike knows. 1932, a young boy was on my roster that the league gave me. The league picked all the players. Coaches had no say in players. And this boy came in as a 6th grader. Now that means he was going to be around until he graduated from grammar school into high school. He was a great boy. His name was Michael Gainham. Michael had fun playing football. But also, as the years passed and he kept coming back because he hadn't graduated yet, he got to be a better player until finally, when he was in the 8th grade, he was so good that I thought if Bristol Midget Football gave an award for the best player of a given year, he would have won it hands down. Now, this was accomplished with a handicap. Mike only had one hand. And that, to me, was an amazing thing. He loved the game so much, and he was so good at it, and he didn't let his handicap bother him. Mike graduated from Terryville High School, went to the University of Connecticut, graduated, came back to Terryville, went into the real estate business, was selected as Sports and Recreation Director for the town of Terryville, served on the Board of Directors for the city, was a volunteer in many things, and in 1981 was voted volunteer for the town of Terryville. One of the best things that I got out of volunteering was the people that you got to meet, both players and players' parents. A classmate of mine from high school had 4 sons, and he brought them to our team, and they played football and basketball. I met a person by the name of Don Brenner. Don Brenner had 5 sons. I also want to mention a gentleman by the name of John Ryan. John Ryan had 2 sons that played in the Midget Football League. John Ryan also helped coaching. He had a great way with young boys, and he had a great way with parents. John was on the board of directors of Bristol Midget Football, and was voted top mentor of the year. I personally did not have the fantastic credentials that you've heard about so far as a player myself, but voluntary work was what my niche was, and that's what I did the best I could. And I hope that the years I volunteered, I left footprints in the sands of time that others might possibly follow. I enjoyed my time coaching little boys, but you can't do this without the help of an understanding wife. My wife, Arlene, stood by most of my decisions, and it turned out to be a wonderful get-together. Thank you very much.